Everyone, welcome to the Never Stop Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, D, and we have a lot to talk about with what we just saw on Monday Night Raw. I like the sound of that. I also like the show. Thought the show was really good. I thought it was star-studded. Um, I don't really. There's quite a few things to talk about though. Just because the show was good doesn't mean that everything was perfect. And obviously, not everything's going to be perfect, but that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to have conversations, discuss segments, matches, winners, losers, all of that stuff. You know the gist of wrestling. So, everyone, before we even get started, one of the big things that I wanted to talk about is the unexpected injury of Liv Morgan. Wishing Liv Morgan a speedy recovery. People are out there saying, oh, it's just a dislocated shoulder. Let me tell you guys something, right? I'm seeing so much disrespect, and these people are exposing themselves as just disgusting, not just disgusting fans, but as disgusting people, right? They're bringing up, the business side of things when if someone is seriously hurt, who gives a shit about the business? If you're holding a title, if if you're holding a title and you're injured, you're not going to be able to compete for the next few weeks, and you're supposed to vacate the title. People are bringing up, oh, Rhea Ripley did it. Let's do it with Liv Morgan. That's what you're talking about. That's what you're talking about. Right when she goes down, that's what you're talking about. Not, oh my god, like I can't believe one of our top stars, we love Liv Morgan. I'm so sad to see this happen. No, you negative fucks. That's what a lot of you people are. And like, it's okay to criticize things and have your opinion. Not in this scenario. That isn't an opinion. If you're on that side when it comes to this topic, if you're on the side of things where you're, not caring about Liv Morgan, a human being who is hurt and she's not able to do what she loves to do, then you could get out of here. We don't need you. Simple as that. Liv Morgan, hope you have a speedy recovery. Hope you're able to compete in your hometown of Jersey for SummerSlam. I know that's a huge moment for you. And I live in Jersey. That would be so cool seeing you have your huge moment. I could see Liv Morgan having a big time match if she's able to compete at SummerSlam. So I'm really hoping for that, and just hoping that even if she doesn't make it to SummerSlam, just hoping that everything is okay and she just gets better very, very soon. That's how I wanted to start off the podcast. Definitely need to address that. Liv Morgan's one of my favorite superstars in the business, and it's only right that we address something, the most serious thing of the entire night first, prior to, getting into all the segments, winners, losers, all that stuff. So, Liv Morgan, we love you. Come back as soon as possible. Wishing you a speedy recovery. And the first segment of Monday Night Raw involved Liv Morgan, seeing a side of Liv Morgan that we haven't really seen in a long time. She was, making her case like she did last week of how good she really is in the business. And I love that she called out Io Sky, the women's world champion, who is also one of my favorite superstars, especially in ring wise, throughout the entire company. Io Sky comes out. We haven't seen Io come out in a little while. Kind of disappointed about that. I don't like the shades that we're seeing, what they're doing with Io Sky, kind of like they did with her first main title reign, where she lost to the Bayley. Not because she lost to the Bayley, but Bayley was like her only opponent, and Io Sky held it for a really long time. So it seems like they don't know I don't know why they feel like they don't know where to put Io Sky, who matches up with Io Sky. You can put Io Sky with anyone. And what we saw in the beginning of the show, like, yeah, we saw Liv Morgan and Io Sky quite a few times, but those were some of Liv Morgan's greatest matches in ring wise. Io Sky can dance with anyone, as well as Liv Morgan. So pairing them up together will be a fantastic match. And I like that we got Io in the ring. We had them, chirping back and forth. Uh, Liv Morgan wants the women's world championship. Io Sky is like, no, you gotta earn it. And you got Dirty Dom in the background being dirty. I low key thought that Dirty Dom was gonna add Io Sky to the list. You know what I mean by the list. The list of girls that Dirty Dom will snatch, because this man has it all. And I'm not just saying that because my name is Dominic. Totally not. But the segment ended with Io basically saying, you gotta earn this, Liv. You gotta earn this. I'm not just gonna hand it to you, because Liv was like, you might as well just hand it to me. I've beaten you the most out of every woman in the locker room, so you might as well just get it over and done with. Just hand me the title. Io Sky was like, you know what, Liv? Yeah, sure. Handed Liv the title. Boom! Io Sky out of nowhere. Punk kick to the back of the head of Liv Morgan. Dirty Dom's checking on Io Sky. Boom! Dirty Dom, you get a piece too. You're not taking Io. So Liv and Dom, they exit the ring. That was the end of the segment. I like Io Sky looking tall and strong as the women's world champion, especially since we haven't seen Io in a little while. We've seen her in some backstage segments, but it was very nice to see Io looking very strong as a champion, despite her not really getting as much screen time in the ring, at least, than I would want. I feel like Io Sky could easily be on every single show, maybe even cutting a promo every single show, having a match here and there. I know the champions don't really wrestle as much as they used to. It seems like if you are champion, you pretty much only get booked to wrestle on the main PLEs. Not main PLEs, just PLEs in general. But it was just really good to see Io Sky and Liv Morgan have a very organic interaction. And unlike last time they faced, it was just a placeholder before Rhea Ripley could come back and face Liv Morgan. So when Liv Morgan does come back from injury, hopefully as soon as possible, and it's nothing too major, I hope we do get to revisit this naturally organic feud that we got going on, and I feel like it could benefit both women from an in-ring perspective and also from a character perspective on Io Sky's end. I think Liv Morgan is a great character to bounce off of, and I think Io Sky could benefit a ton with someone like such a great character worker like Liv Morgan. And next up, we got the Queen of the Ring qualifier match, round one, where I thought Stephanie Vaquer was going to move on. I don't know about you guys. Despite seeing the lineup, I was thinking maybe Raquel, because Liv Morgan and Raquel, they had that backstage segment basically saying, like, you got to move on. I couldn't move on. Roxanne beat me to it. Even though they're supposed to be on the same team, Judgment Day. But Liv Morgan wanted Raquel to move on and to basically go on this run in the Queen of the Ring tournament for Liv Morgan. Raquel, that was her goal. That was her goal, to win the match. But let's not forget about Asuka. What a presentation. What a look. And seeing Asuka in this match definitely made, at least me personally, I can't speak for everyone out there, seeing Asuka out there last night definitely made me realize how much we missed Asuka in ring for what was it, an entire year, a little bit over a year that she was gone. I love her style in the ring. She's, her movesets are not really like anyone else's. It's very different to watch. I love the presentation of her entrance. The movement to the ring, her look, the face paint. I like the new, like, the black and white, and she had that really, really cool face paint. Asuka is always known to have more, like, colorful attire, I feel like, at least from, like, a lot of stuff that I've seen. Um, but I love this new look from Asuka. And once again, she first match in over a year, and she already is showing that she could easily be placed into the main event scene right away. I don't think that's a hot take either. I think she can easily be placed into the main event scene, no problem. Asuka was on a run at some point where she was definitely one of the top women in the division quite a few years ago. Sadly, I wasn't watching consistently, well, let alone really at all during that time. I missed out on that time period. I forget the exact years, but where Asuka had an undefeated WrestleMania streak, she won the Royal Rumble, and Asuka was basically booked to be one of the top stars in the women's division. I think, especially with Triple H involved, because Triple H does love, um, I feel like he loves Io, Kyrie, Asuka. I think I hope he does a good job with Asuka, especially with her just returning. She stood out in the qualifying match, and she's moving on. She's facing Alexa Bliss. I love it. I think we can see Asuka go to the finals. Do I think Asuka's gonna win? That's tough because on the other side of things, it's Roxanne against Jade Cargill, and that match is really tough. That's gonna happen on next week's Monday Night Raw. But Roxanne and Jade, I don't know why I have this really good feeling. I was gonna say weird, but not weird. Um, I have this feeling that they could go two different ways with this. So I honestly don't have a certified winner, but here's where my head's at with the Jade Cargill Roxanne Perez match. Jade Cargill has been teased to be the next champion. Stare downs, face to faces, interrupting, walking by Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, even like Julia, top stars in the women's division. Roxanne Perez is a new call up who is now they could really pivot with what just happened with Liv, because maybe Roxanne wasn't maybe prior to Liv's injury, maybe the plan wasn't to have Roxanne move on, but let's be real here, Liv Morgan was the main driving force of the Judgment Day, at least in my opinion. Obviously, yeah, Dirty Dom too as well, but it's going to be really weird without Liv Morgan. Maybe they have Roxanne move on to the finals and maybe she wins to try and help elevate the Judgment Day while Liv Morgan's gone. Or Roxanne Perez does a little bit of a Naomi Jade situation where Bianca needed a partner to take the other tag team championship. Maybe Roxanne loses against Jade, takes the tag team championship from Liv Morgan. Roxanne and Raquel, they're now a tag team. They're the tag team champions. And Jade Cargill moves on and becomes the winner of the entire tournament and faces, I feel like Tiffany Stratton would still be the champion at the time when we get to SummerSlam. Maybe Jade Cargill faces Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. I genuinely think the title shot that Jade Cargill does get, whenever it is, whether it's from this Queen of the Ring tournament or she just gets an opportunity down the line, I think her first opportunity, she will win. Now, if it happens with the opportunity of the Queen of the Ring tournament, I think definitely, I'm going to call this right now. I think if Jade is at SummerSlam competing for a title, I think she wins, but I also think that's where Naomi cashes in. Now, I do believe that'll happen at SummerSlam. A very big moment with a ton of people in attendance. That would be a groundbreaking moment for Naomi. She gets revenge on Jade Cargill. We can now see Jade Cargill go after the title again. And now, let's be real here, Jade Cargill is officially a title contender monster. She's going to be title hungry after that. And we could see her be in like a Charlotte Flair role where I could see Jade Cargill winning multiple titles within the next 2 years, if something like that happens. But yeah, back to Asuka. Asuka could easily win it too. I don't think that's out of line at all. I feel like I'm kind of just like going past Alexa Bliss for some reason, but I don't know. I have this weird feeling that Alexa and Charlotte Flair are going to team up. And that's not a bad route for Alexa Bliss. I feel like they would be a dominant force in the tag division. And the tag division kind of needs that as well. Especially if whether Liv and Raquel are still the tag team champions or Roxanne takes Liv's role for the time being while Liv is out. That would be a great feud in itself right off the bat. And maybe we can start pairing up some more top tier talent for the women's division into tag teams that actually make sense. We're seeing Alexa and Charlotte have this weird bond connection kind of thing. So that would be a tag team that actually makes sense. Not having just for example, like Rhea Ripley and Maxine Dupree. Like just a random. That's just random. Like we're not just throwing tag team names out there. Like just random women in the division into a tag team. Alexa and Charlotte would actually make sense. They've been teasing it, and obviously Roxanne and Raquel would make sense, and Liv Morgan and Raquel obviously make sense. They are the only 4-time women's tag team champions and the greatest women's tag team champions of all time. So shout out to Asuka and shout out to all the women in that qualifying match. Stephanie Vaquera, obviously, Chef's Kiss, Devil's Kiss, beautiful, beautiful match, beautiful performance. Raquel was a standout, and Ivy Nile, the pitbull. Woo woo woo. We'll love to see Braun Breaker and Ivy Nile do like a freaking push-up competition, bro. I feel like that would be dirty. Ivy Nile is a tank. She's an absolute unit. I need whatever meal prep that Ivy Nile's on. Ivy Nile, I would love to take it. I'm sure, like, and workout tips, I would love it. Absolutely love it. I watched Ivy Nile's Celtic Warrior workout for, it wasn't chest day, but she did a few chest exercises and a few other things as well, and they look tough. But I took one of her workouts, and it is insane. Gives you a massive sweat, gives you a pump. I'm just trying to look like the Pitbull out here, guys. I'm trying to look like the Pitbull. But yeah, shout out to all the women in the match. It was a great match. And then afterwards, we have Goldberg. Now, when I say that name, what is your reaction? Is it a, let's go Goldberg? Dude, I loved him back in the day. Or is it, get this guy out of the company right now? Now, like, here's the thing. He's having one match. Supposedly, he's having one last match. If this is the last match, guys, let bro do his thing. Like, I highly doubt Goldberg's going to win, if that's what a lot of people are worried about. Excuse me. But, like, you know what? And I need to check myself, because I think I was criticizing the Goldberg thing as well when I was seeing the rumors about it. But you know what? As a man, you got to take accountability. You got to realize when you are wrong. And you know what? You also got to realize when you need to just loosen up a little bit, right? I think I was getting too over the top when it comes to me voicing my opinion on Goldberg returning, facing Gunther while he's world champion. Now, a lot of people don't like that. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of it, but if it's Goldberg's last match, if it's his last match, he's obviously not winning. Unless he's pulling a John Cena, he's going to retire with the World Heavyweight Championship. That would definitely ruin wrestling for everyone. I say give Goldberg his last match. As much as a lot of people don't want to see it, if this is it, though, guys, it's going to be a couple minutes. Who knows? Maybe Goldberg might shock the world. I don't think so, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, my take on it, though, Goldberg, Gunther, I don't like the reasoning to why Gunther won the title then, and these are just dirt sheets, right? So I can't really say this is why I don't like the reasoning, because I want Gunther as champion again. But supposedly Gunther only won it so Goldberg can compete for the title for his final match or something like that. I don't know. That dirt sheets are stupid. I don't even know if that's true, but um, I'm glad Gunther's champion. Obviously, I think after Goldberg, Gunther's gonna, you know, have legit competition as well. I don't think right after Goldberg he's gonna lose it immediately because they only wanted Gunther to face Goldberg because he has the title. Um, so yeah. So Goldberg, go do your thing, man. Saturday night's main event. I think it's gonna be a fun match. Fun match. And AJ Styles wants that IC title. When he held that IC title, I gotta say, that title just fits AJ Styles so well. Like, literally and visually. It fits his waist, very nice. Fits him. Goes around pretty good. Strap it up. And also, visually, I don't know, something about the blue with the title as well and the gold mix. Styles looks like he can be easily our next IC champion, our Intercontinental champion. As much as I don't want Dirty Dom to lose the title, um, it going to AJ Styles, obviously the future WWE Hall of Famer and just Hall of Famer in professional wrestling in general, TNA, Indies, all that good stuff. Dom losing it to AJ would be a good move. Would be elevating the title. Dom, they haven't really done too much with Dom as a champ besides this right here, really. And he had a match against Penta and Octagon. Dom only faced it against Shapes. But now he's going to face it against a phenomenal one. And that man being AJ Styles. And I think AJ comes out on top at Night of Champions. That match was also announced. That's going to be a great match. Let's be real here, guys. AJ Styles, we all know what he can do. We know he can go in the ring. We know he is not only just called the Phenomenal One as a nickname, he is a phenomenal superstar, a phenomenal wrestler. And we also need to be real here as well. Dirty Dom has improved after every single match that he's had, it seems like. I think he took the heat seriously when people were like, you're only in the business because your dad's Rey Mysterio. Well, let me check you guys in. Dirty Dom has definitely worked on his game. Not just with the baddies, but Dirty Dom in ring as well. And maybe even Dirty Dom where he gets dirty. Alright, I'm having too much fun right there. No, on a real note, I think Night of Champions, that match is going to be great. And I actually got AJ Styles defeating Dominic Mysterio. I think it's best for the title. I think it's a good business decision. I think it definitely works well just for the mid-card division. And it doesn't have anyone lose any type of momentum either. I don't think Dom necessarily needs a title to stay relevant. I think Dirty Dom is one of the most known superstars on the roster, if we're being honest here. You see a lot of girls on social media even like talk about how nice that mustache is and everything. And obviously AJ Styles, who doesn't know AJ Styles, if you're a wrestling fan, an absolute legendary icon. So, very excited to see that AJ and Dom is the next title defense for Dominic Mysterio. This segment between Bayley and Becky Lynch, I'm not gonna lie here. One, it was great to see Bayley. Great to see Bayley back after a month and a half, 2 months. Like, that's too long without Bayley. Way too long without Bayley. And this has got to be, at least from what I've seen while watching a show live, there might be clips that I haven't seen from the past, but I've been watching consistently again for the last 3 years and have watched pretty much majority of the shows live, like as they're happening. This has got to be Bayley's greatest promo and segment I've ever seen. The authenticity that I felt in the words that she was saying, and you could just see it on her face too. I don't think she was selling anything either. I think she genuinely meant everything that she was talking about. Whether it's from a character perspective, but I also think there was a lot of realism to it too as well, because I don't know why, she gets shadowed out when it comes to when it comes to the four horsewomen. When Bailey has been, I feel like, the most consistent four horsewomen member out of all of them. Just showing up to work, and obviously things happen, injuries, Becky Lynch having a kid, Mercedes Moné, as we formerly knew as Sasha Banks, is now in a different company. Bailey has held it down, for the four horsewomen, the entire time. So like, the fact that Bailey is the least talked about four horsewomen member is just beyond me. And I loved what I saw with Bailey last night. And this segment was so authentic. You saw it in her eyes, you saw it in her facial expressions, even before Becky Lynch got out there. And then when Becky Lynch got out there, Becky Lynch and her, great chemistry. I feel like they were really, really good at bouncing off each other, with the comments and everything. With Becky talking about, you haven't held gold in a long time because you're so worried about everyone else. Then Bailey making good points about she doesn't, she wants to spread the love around in the women's locker room. She wants to be that leader figure. But Becky Lynch is being real with her, and you can't really go against what Becky's saying. Becky is as good as she is, and Bailey's going to be a future Hall of Famer as well. And I'm glad that Bailey acknowledged that, because Bailey, you are a future Hall of Famer. And that's not just me saying it, Bailey. That's everyone saying it. Like, it's time that we give you your damn flowers, Bailey. It's about damn time. And you know what? I'm so glad that Bailey recognizes it as well. And I'm glad that she said it on TV, because like the interview with CVV, shout out to CVV, um right before WrestleMania 41, I was actually like watching that. I was upset a little bit, like seeing Bailey, like she doesn't view herself as good as Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte. When like the real diehard fan, we're like, we see you, Bailey. Like, and I'm glad that you see yourself that way as well. Um, but Becky is where she's at because she worries about herself, and you can't really knock that. Listen, guys, if you want to succeed, you can't rely on everyone else. Like, you can't have people. I'm trying to put this in the most politically correct term. Um, like, if you're worried about too many other people, you're gonna get sidetracked on focusing on yourself. And bottom line in life, if you're not worrying about yourself, what are you doing? You got to make sure you check in with yourself. You got to check in that you're meeting all your requirements to make yourself feel good. Get your goals done and all that good stuff. Then you can worry about taking care of everyone else. And that goes for everyone. If every individual does that, then everyone should be good. Everyone should be good. But if you forget that first step about taking care of yourself, then you can't do step two. Because now you're going to be leaving yourself behind and everyone else is going ahead. Because everyone else is following step one. And you're skipping step one because you're so focused about everyone else. Focus on you, then everyone else. You matter most. That goes out to everyone. And I think Bailey's starting to realize that. And you saw it with her and Lyra talking backstage as well. And Lyra was like, "Oh, no, that's cool. You're looking out for yourself. That's cool. But well, if you win that IC title against Becky Lynch next week, just know I'm gonna do what's best for me as well." Lessons are going around in the women's locker room, guys. The lessons are going around. I might have to be the teacher. No, I'm kidding. Um, but no, seriously, that's cool that Lyra got involved in that, and her realizing that at a very early age in her career. And that's really cool that Bailey is acknowledging that as a character, I believe. I believe they've realized this outside of the company, but it's cool that their character on TV is realizing, look, I gotta do stuff for myself now. Like, I've done so much for other people, like it's time for me to get what's mine. So I'm glad that Bayley, Lyra, and honestly Becky giving the truth to Bayley to make her acknowledge that once you start worrying about yourself, and then if you want to still worry about other people, you can, but get what's yours first. Make sure you get it, because no one's gonna get it for you. Because everyone else is worried about step one and then step two. Bayley has forgotten about step one for a long time, at least recently. It's time for Bayley to get step one back in her routine. And we're going to see Bayley go after the IC title and then a main title as well. I'm very excited to see what's next for Bayley and also to see what's next for Lyra, the Bird Lady, Valkyria. And all shout out to Becky Lynch for implanting that in Bayley's head. And now we have the main event, the King of the Ring qualifying match with the mystery participant in Jey Uso. Oh wait, hold on. I can't even wait. Hold on one sec. With me talking about the mystery part of Jey Uso and how it was a mystery at first and then they announced that it was Jey Uso. Thank goodness we got to see Karrion Kross on TV, and we also have a future match confirmed between Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. The movement doesn't stop here. We're going to keep going until we see Karrion Kross on weekly Monday Night Raws and just WWE television. I'm so glad. The pop was really good. Despite the crowd being a little the entire night, the pop was really good for Karrion Kross. And it was longer than 30 seconds, and it wasn't during a commercial break where only people outside of the United States can see it. I'm so glad that Karrion Kross is being utilized. Now, we got to bring Scarlett in there, too. Because it showed, in the name when Karrion Kross popped up last night with Scarlett, and Scarlett wasn't even there. So I don't know what they were doing with that. But the both of them, Scarlett, Karrion Kross, phenomenal workers. Karrion Kross's contract is up this summer. Do it right. Push this man. I'm not saying give him the WWE Championship, have him dethrone John Cena. Just telling you, put him on TV. It's that simple. Hell, even New Day. Put him on TV. They're your champs. Like, stuff like that, man. Like, I don't know. It just gets me annoyed at times. Like, you see certain people who just never show up. They might show up one Monday Night Raw out of 4 weeks during the entire month. And someone like New Day, those are your champions. Karrion Kross is a different situation. Like, everyone's actually vocally wanting them, Karrion, to appear on TV, and they're not doing it. New Day should just be on TV. They're your tag team champions. And that's why the tag division on the Raw side of things is looking so because you're not having your champions booked on the show. And if you are, they're doing commercial breaks. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So glad that Karrion Kross got his time to shine last night with a face-to-face segment with Sami Zayn. That was very, very cool to see. So now the King of the Ring qualifier match. Jey Uso, the mystery participant, came out on top with a massive overbooked frenzy. It seems like WWE has been doing this on Monday Night Raw recently, and also Friday Night SmackDown with Bronson Reed costing LA Knight the qualifying match. I like they're involving many different storylines into one match with several different superstars. Now is a perfect time because with a Fatal 4-Way, you have 4 guys that have potentially 4 different feuds going on, 4 different storylines, and maybe throughout those 4 guys in the ring, maybe some have common interests. Like you have Bronson Reed. Oh, that affiliates LA Knight. Oh, well, it's Bronson Reed that also affiliates with Seth Rollins. Also affiliates with Braun Breaker as well. And if it affiliates with Braun Breaker, then it kind of affiliates with Sami Zayn. Like, it all connects. And honestly, I gotta say, beautifully executed main event. It was very, very cool. I was not expecting all that chaos to happen, but it was really cool. I kind of figured that Jey Uso was going to move on. As much as I didn't really want to see him jump right into the chase for the title right away, but I don't see Jey winning the tournament. So, with that being said, I don't mind him moving on to the next round. The next round is Cody and Jey. I think I think the finals could be Jey and Sammy. One, I'm going to tell you why. Sami Zayn is in a position where he's almost, and I'm such a Cross fan. I'm trying to, and this makes sense what I'm about to say. There, Sami Zayn is winning right now because of what Cross is instilling into his head in these backstage segments. As much as Sammy's not admitting to it, he's taking advantage of people getting hit from outside interference to move on to the second round. That's not Sami Zayn. That's kind of similar to what we saw when John Cena took advantage of CM Punk when Seth Rollins curb stomped him at the Elimination Chamber. John Cena pulled Punk into the ring, gave him an STFU. That's not like these characters, these big baby faces. And what happened right after John Cena did that? He literally turned heel 20 minutes later. Not saying Sammy is going to turn heel exactly if he faced Jey Uso in the finals. That's my end goal. I think Sammy and Jey will be the final match because that will test Sami Zayn. Do you want this for yourself, or do you want Jey to succeed more than you? And that's what Cross has been telling Sami Zayn for the last couple of weeks. And Sami Zayn, he's not admitting to it, but I think he's going to switch that in his head and he's going to get what's his. Now, I don't know if he's going to win it all. I think having Sammy and Jey is a stretch. I think it could also be Randy and Cody, as much as we want to see that, because I think whoever wins this will go after the WWE Championship. Let's be real here, guys. I don't want to see Jey or Sammy go after the WWE Championship. Obviously, John Cena is holding it. If Sammy or Jey won the King of the Ring, they're not dethroning John Cena. If Cody or Randy win it, more so on the Cody Rhodes side, there's an actual shot that John Cena could lose the title before he retires, with those two winning the King of the Ring tournament. Potentially, one of those two. Thank you. Chad Gable, shout out. El Grande Americano. But yeah, if Cody Rhodes does win this entire tournament, he would face John Cena at SummerSlam. I think Cody could win. And we did see Cody and Rollins gonna have this stare down at the end of the night. Maybe Seth Rollins cashes in on Cody Rhodes. What do we think about that? I don't see Randy winning. I don't see Randy getting another shot because whoever wins this, I pretty much guarantee is going after the WWE Championship. They already advertised Randy and Cena as one last time. So them having John and Randy go at it one more time would kind of be false advertisement, and a lot of people definitely flew out to St. Louis, Missouri to see their childhood match one last time. If it wasn't advertised like that, then I would say Randy Orton is a contender to win this all. But since they advertised their match at Backlash that way, I don't see Randy and Cena happening. I also don't see Sammy and Cena happening, and I also don't see Jey and Cena happening. So pretty much actually what I'm trying to say here as I'm talking about it out loud, I honestly got Cody Rhodes winning this whole thing. Kind of weird to see Cody Rhodes win the King of the Ring tournament. I don't know why. It just sounds weird. And it looks weird, on the graphic, just seeing Cody Rhodes in the tournament. But no, it makes sense. There have been top stars that won the King of the Ring tournament. So that's kind of ignorant for me to say that it's weird for Cody Rhodes to win the tournament. Just wouldn't think that this would be the way that he gets his rematch, because honestly, Cody Rhodes should just get a rematch clause. Isn't that kind of a thing? Like, it's a thing and then it's not a thing. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to use it in this scenario. They want to have Cody earn it, you know, earn his opportunity to face John Cena again for the WWE Championship. And I gotta say, I think SummerSlam is definitely getting one Money in the Bank cash in. I explained my Naomi one earlier in the podcast, and I think if Cody and Cena go at SummerSlam, we could see Seth Rollins cashing in on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes dethrones John Cena. Not sure how the reaction would be, but I think the reaction of Seth Rollins making a groundbreaking cash in at SummerSlam on Cody Rhodes, that would be almost like Heist of the Century-esque. And how else do you get more heat to your faction when you're not trying to ruin wrestling? Rollins is definitely not trying to ruin wrestling, but he's definitely a heel, obviously. And it seems like he doesn't want to see someone like Cody Rhodes kind of run the show. Like, it seems like he's pretty cool with John Cena. As weird as that sounds. Um, but yeah, that is where I'm at with the King of the Ring tournament and who I think will win that all. That was a lot to talk about. That was a good, very in 41 minutes. That wasn't a bad. I feel like that was a very smooth discussion. Um, Great Monday Night Raw. Lot of action. A lot of stuff that we talked about. A lot of hot takes. A lot of predictions for Night of Champions, and also as well as maybe some SummerSlam predictions as well, but Money in the Bank cash-ins. We discussed quite a bit, and I feel like it was a great discussion that we had. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this podcast episode. As always, I always appreciate everyone tuning in, whoever does tune in, and just love chatting with people who see this, because I love wrestling. I hope you guys do too. If you're listening or watching this on YouTube, or you're just listening, you're driving in your car, you just want to hear some wrestling topics, this is a great podcast for you to watch. As always, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. And let me know your takes down below. What just happened on Monday Night Raw, and just recent stuff going on in the WWE as well. Would love to hear about it. Would love to talk about it. Yeah, as always, thank you so much for tuning in for the third time. And I will see you in the next episode.